Food trends come and go, and sometimes they come back. While some food trends will stay forever in the past, recent years have seen a retro resurgence. After 50 years in the back of the pantry, here are the top foods from the 1970s that are weirdly making a comeback. If you attended a dinner party in the 1970s, chances are you would have been served cheese fondue, a dish hailing from the Alps somewhere near the Franco-Swiss border. This pot filled with a bubbling combo of grated cheese and white wine was placed in the center of the table. Guests wielding long forks could dip chunks of bread or other tasty victuals into the cheesy pool. For many, fondue remains a fun and interactive throwback dinner option that is nevertheless stuck firmly in the past. But according to The Independent, fondue remains, quote, the highest form of cheese worship.
When's the party? I love fondue.
Outlets from Pop Sugar to Today have published recipes for making this dish at home. The Spruce Eats even came up with a list of the 7 best fondue pots to invest in this year. Casseroles increased in popularity through the middle of the 20th century, with busy housewives relying on them to get a quick, easy dinner on the table. By the 70s, when many moms were also working, casseroles were an essential part of the dinner rotation in America. The very attraction of casseroles has always been linked to their ease. At its heart, a casserole is just a few cupboard staples stirred together in a dish and baked until bubbly and browned. But when condensed soups and packaged seasonings contain so much salt and so many preservatives, it can make health-conscious cooks balk. In some parts of the country, particularly the Midwest, casseroles never really fell out of fashion. But as All Recipes reports, they may now be returning to prominence as a better-for-you convenience food, with more natural ingredients than the preservative-filled concoctions of the past. Microwaves were an essential element of many 70s kitchens. They were the perfect way to heat up a TV dinner or even make a meal from start to finish. But while years of misinformation led many Americans to turn away from their microwave due to a belief that their radiation could cause cancer, microwaves have experienced a major renaissance in recent years. With a renewed interest in microwave recipes, as well as chef and restaurateur David Chang's surprisingly good microwaved egg technique, the founder of Momofuku has defended the microwave, touting it as a tool not just for reheating leftovers or cooking popcorn, but also for perfectly cooking vegetables and delicate fish. Box cake mix was first invented back in the 1930s, and as the decades rolled on, it only got more popular. In the 1970s, rare indeed was the birthday party that didn't feature a sheet cake made from a mix and topped with a colorful icing. A shift towards from-scratch cakes ensued, but today, box cake mixes are back for 2 reasons. They're easy and they're easy to jazz up. The Bon Appetit test kitchen fueled the rise in popularity during stay-at-home orders. In the time of social distancing, the team did an at-home challenge to dress up a box brownie mix. Then came the rise of other chefs offering tweaks to the classic, from TikTok baker Carly Stoddard to a host of pros speaking to Business Insider Australia. With a range of box cake mixes on the market, including old reliables and newer, more health-conscious offerings, it's no surprise that box cake mixes are flying high on their newfound popularity. With the popularity of box cake mixes, it's no surprise that the 70s classic of poke cake was also overdue for a makeover. According to Atlas Obscura, Jell-O originally invented the poke cake recipe back in the 70s, and it soon became a hit. To make a poke cake, housewives only had to make a box cake, poke it full of holes, and pour Jell-O over the top. The finished cake was bright and, yeah, a bit garish, but so much fun. Though it basically disappeared for a while, poke cake started re-emerging in 2016, when Insider noticed a trend of poking cakes and topping them, not with Jell-O, but with jam, caramel, and more. Kitchen-highlighted versions made with homemade cake and dolled up with flavors ranging from mojito to banana split. First invented in 1959 by a food chemist looking to engineer an instant soft drink, according to Science World, the candy favorite known as Pop Rocks didn't actually explode onto the market until the 1970s. With their sugary base and rampant use of food coloring, Pop Rocks haven't exactly been the most popular choice for health-conscious parents. Yet they're still experiencing a resurgence at the hands, first and foremost, of Starbucks, which introduced a new blue Frappuccino for spring 2021. The bubblegum-flavored drink is topped with pink Pop Rock-style fizzing candy. Pudding was a 1970s staple, particularly popular in amalgam desserts like Watergate salad, which was made with things like canned pineapple, whipped cream, marshmallows, and pistachio pudding. Pudding is back on vogue. At least it is according to places like Venice Beach's Pudu Pudu dessert restaurant. According to the Santa Monica Daily Press, this new hipster hang is seeking to bring back pudding by dressing it up with superfood flavors and toppings like spirulina and turmeric. They're even catering to vegans with plant-based versions, which is pretty much an instant win with a large segment of potential diners. The Manwich sauce brand was a 1970s must-have in any respectable housewife's pantry. But it's been a while since we saw those retro ads, or anything resembling a Sloppy Joe. But we saw Sloppy Joes in the news again when an Eater columnist waxed poetic about how enticing and exciting it would be to once again eat something so unabashedly messy. Part of the pleasure of a Sloppy Joe is the finger-licking mess eating such a sandwich entrails.
I made 'em extra sloppy for you.
And since we surely all carry hand sanitizer now, and are scrupulous about washing our hands, a Sloppy Joe is an even safer bet than it used to be. With the rampant uptick in peanut butter allergies in the US, many schools and workplaces have understandably put no-nut policies into place. This ultimately means that the 70s classic brown bag lunch, featuring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, was off the menu. But since many schools were out of session due to COVID-19, families without an allergy at home could embrace the humble PB&J once more. Data from the National Peanut Board found, quote, a sizable uptick in peanut butter sales in 2020, up 75% compared to the same time period in 2019. Real Simple reported that Easy PB's new peanut butter stirrer went viral on TikTok. Proof positive that folks are loving the natural, stabilizer-free versions of the spread. Reese's even launched a limited edition, vegan peanut butter-themed makeup line in advance of its new peanut butter crunch bar. A can of condensed soup was a staple of the 70s, whether it was enjoyed on its own, with a side of grilled cheese, or stirred into casseroles to make a rich, creamy, often salt-ridden base. But in recent years, this convenience food had fallen from grace due to its over-reliance on highly processed ingredients and more salt than most health-conscious consumers are really comfortable with these days. But consumers' reliance on nostalgic foods during the pandemic has led to gains for condensed soup companies like Campbell's. Bravo's Top Chef challenged its contestants to revisit their childhood with condensed soups, in a challenge that bore the Campbell's brand name. And with this a new market presence of healthier condensed soups, as Today notes, the popularity of condensed soups is likely to continue to grow. Oatmeal has long been perceived as a filling, heart-healthy breakfast, and has been since well before the 1970s, in fact, and it gained in popularity due to the arrival of instant oatmeal from 1966 onwards, according to CBS News. Today, it's had another resurgence thanks to overnight oats, a pre-pandemic trend that's still going strong. Add to this new TikTok trends like baked oatmeal, oatmeal muffins, and even savory oatmeal recipes, and oatmeal has undergone a well-deserved makeover. This is all making oatmeal, that humble 1970s staple, one of the most popular choices at the breakfast table once more. It doesn't hurt that health experts continue to tout the health benefits of this oh-so-70s breakfast. Oatmeal's rich reserves of fiber and minerals make it a great choice to keep you full all day long. If there's one nostalgic fave we can all agree on, it's got to be mac and cheese. It was the perfect lunch or after-school snack. While Kraft macaroni and cheese has technically been around since 1937, according to Smithsonian Magazine, it was in the late 70s that Kraft really pulled out all the stops when it came to advertising its namesake product. Today, the classic easy meal of mac and cheese is experiencing a resurgence. Food professionals who are also fellow mac and cheese lovers are offering hacks for elevating the box stuff to the next level, as Chowhound reports. These include recipes calling for added aromatics, veggies, and more. Lifehacker even suggests adding browned butter to make it super fancy. Some brands are also launching better-for-you versions of box mac. As the Burlington Free Press notes, Cabot is notably getting into the mac and cheese business with a product that will boast far less of a Technicolor glow, but promises to be just as delicious. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more MASH videos about the latest food trends are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.